season, and one of the biggest factors is quarterback Daniel Jones. Last year, Jones passed for just 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in 6 starts. He was 1-5 in that stretch before going down with a neck injury and an ACL tear that ultimately ended his season. According to Rich Eisen, New York is ready to move on. Take a listen.
The Giants are absolutely done with Daniel Jones.
Wow.
Done.
Wow. Absolutely done.
Done. Might have to play him this year, but that ain't it. And they feel that ain't it. The words I heard at the Combine multiple times, 2 words were buyer's remorse.
Kimberly Martin and Louis Riddick joining RC again for this one. Louis, I'm going to start with you. Should the Giants move on from Daniel Jones?
Watch out. Okay.
Hey,
get ready, y'all. Get ready. Get ready.
Close your computer. Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, look. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. All right. Should they move on? Sure. If you're no longer into him and you feel as though you have buyer's remorse, that's fine. It's well within their right to go ahead and reset the clock and start over again. But let's just back up though here for a minute about Daniel Jones. Okay. First of all, look, when Daniel Jones was drafted in 2019, I never thought he should have went as high as number 6 overall. All right. But that being said, look, I'm able to be objective about this kind of thing as far as, I don't care about where he was drafted. It's like, how was he set up then to succeed and or fail? All right. The kid went through 3 different coaching staffs, 3 different offensive coordinators, 3 different systems. They threw assets at the offensive line. He was never really protected, never really had a number 1 wide receiver. And he had constant change surrounding him all the time, to the point where just 13 months ago, the owner of the New York Giants was saying that we have done everything possible to screw this kid up. We have. And then on top of it, he gets hurt this year. They had just signed him. Look, there's a reason why they signed into a contract extension last year that gave him $36 million in signing bonus money and $90 million plus in virtual guarantees. That was because they thought they had found something with Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator, and their ability to then, at the end of the year, have a guy who was basically top 10 in QBR, top 10 in completion percentage, top 10, top 11 in completion percentage above expectation, top 10 in off-target throws, meaning he was putting the ball where it needed to be put, and that they had found a way to kind of crack the code with him, and that they still needed some more weapons around him. They still needed another tight end. That's why they went out and got Darren Waller. It didn't work out. They needed more wide receivers and more wide receiver help. They draft Jalen Hyatt. It doesn't make a difference. On the offensive line, Evan Neal still needs to get better. Andrew Thomas at left tackle gets hurt. John Michael Schmitz isn't able to play all 17 games last year. So there's still things surrounding the kid that aren't really working in his favor to help him ascend to the kind of heights that are befitting of someone who gets $36 million to sign and $90 million plus in guarantees. What bothers me is how this sounds, okay, in terms of the Giants are done with him. They may be stuck with him this year, but it's just time to move on. One of the reasons why you want to move on is because you screwed him up. You didn't really help him. And, of course, he got hurt. So some of it is on him, too, but he had 3 different coaching staffs. He has a porous offensive line, and he doesn't have any weapons. So, you know what? If you want to move on, that's cool. Just don't make it sound like all of a sudden, like, hey, you know what? We're just going to bring someone else in here because this guy's just not quite good enough. No, just acknowledge the fact that, you know what? He really wasn't set up to succeed in the first place. That's all.
Tell him what you meant, son.
Look, in all seriousness, this is what bothers me about this. Is when there's such a need, man. There's such a need for people to point blame and point fingers that right now everybody wants to just go, well, look, Daniel Jones, look, he sucked from the beginning anyway. It's just his fault. No, it's not just his fault. It's not at all. Just take it piece by piece and understand why they're at where they're at. Their own owner said it just 13 months ago. So if they want to move on, that's cool. Look, I'll tell you what. I really do hope that J.J. McCarthy goes to the Giants. I do.
Is it cool? You
I
good?
do.
You
it's
good?
cool.
You good, Fred?
Hey, look, they ain't putting they're not putting no money in my pocket or taking no money out of me. I'm good. I just don't like when the whole thing isn't represented the right way. That's all.
You know what, Louis, you are a treasure. You are an absolute treasure. Because I love when you get fired up.
He got me weak.
And you know why else I'm mad? Listen, here's the reality. Love Rich Eisen too. But did anyone need Rich Eisen to say that the Giants are done? Because let me tell you right now, no one in Indy or America fully believes that the Giants are fully confident Daniel Jones is the answer. We have eyeballs. We watch. Now, to Lewis's point, you can point to offensive line. He was sacked 30 times. Like, we can point to all these deficiencies. We can point to the coaching staff that's in shambles, and suddenly Brian Daboll went from coach of the year to now, will this man have a job with this organization next year? However, when you look at Daniel Jones, it just hasn't been good enough. There are issues, there are complicating matters, but at the end of the day, when Lamar Jackson didn't have receivers to throw to, when Justin Fields went to Chicago and the cupboard was bare and they changed offensive systems, when Baker Mayfield has been in system after system after system, like, they're just things that aren't fair to some quarterbacks, and yet still we expect them to be on the field and produce. And when you look at the Giants' offense of late, Saquon Barkley has been the focal point of that offense. Saquon Barkley has been the guy that has made their offense go. So the question of should the Giants move on at quarterback, I mean, they are stuck. The sentiment around the league is they're stuck with him. But why are they stuck with him? Because they gave him the money. So when you look at the Giants in this draft, that's why everybody's like,
why did they give him the money? Why did they give him the money?
I imagine they felt when it comes to paying the running back or paying the quarterback, well, the quarterback.
It's more than that, though. He actually put some stuff on tape that really.
Tell me.
What I'm saying is, okay, all right, this is just my opinion, all right? I'm just going to tell you.
It's your job.
This is why they gave him the money. Because in 2022, the guy had made dramatic improvements within that offense to where he had become someone who they thought, hey, Brian, there's a reason why Brian Daboll got Coach of the Year and why Kafka was considered a head coaching prospect at the time. They thought they just may be on to something here. With Daniel's ability to run the football, he was throwing the football efficiently late in the year, to where they thought, you know what, maybe he isn't so bad. Look, there's no way you're going to go into John Mara and be like, hey, man, we need $36 million of your money right now, and we're going to guarantee upwards of $90 million if everything works out for someone who just sucked. Because he was playing much better at the time. That's all I'm saying. Look, whether or not they move on is totally up to them. If they're done with him, honestly, for me, it's cool. I just don't like it to where it's like this kid just let us down after everything that we've done.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I mean,
They have totally. That's the problem for me. And see, that message is put out there about quarterbacks all the damn time. Like, this guy's either good or he just sucks. And it's not the case. It's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the other thing is too, Lou. It's not about a guy and thinking that guy sucks, but it is thinking that guy isn't good enough to help us win in the way that we want to. There are a lot of quarterbacks in this league that can play football, but can they play football to the level that puts you in championship contention? And you said,
true,
after watching Daniel Jones with Coach Kafka, with Coach Daboll, they said to themselves, this guy isn't that bad. That's why the contract that you're talking about, to me, reflects that, right? The contract you're talking about, to me, says that my level of expectation was at a certain point. So based on this production, I'm excited because this production is above what I walked into. It said that Brian Daboll, who we watch help transform Josh Allen, may be on to something with Daniel Jones. But Kimberly made this point when we talked about Caleb and Jaden, and you made this point in talking about Daniel Jones. To me, it's very rare that a guy is picked where Daniel Jones is, that a guy becomes a starter as Daniel Jones is, and his entire failure is on him. There are not going to be a ton of players with that level of talent where the entire failure is on you. But a failure is a failure. The inability to play at a high level is the inability to play at a high level consistently, and that's what you're looking for in a franchise quarterback. I think his contract, to me, reflected their apprehension and their willingness to be done, if what Rich Eisen says is true, to be done a year after giving him that deal, tells me that they walked into this with cold feet anyway. This is more an annulment than a divorce.
You cannot get married with cold feet, guys.
I
cannot do it.
I get what you're saying, and look, and maybe for me, look, I love Rich. Maybe I'm getting caught up in how Rich is framing this.
The
way,
verbiage.
yeah,
message
right,
was delivered
right.
to him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because see, that bothers me. Like, you're just done with him. Well, damn, if I'm Daniel Jones, I might be thinking, I'm done with y'all too.
Got me out
that's
here
cool.
running for my life.
That's cool, because I came out of this with a busted up knee, a bad neck.
Yeah.
And now people telling me I suck. You know what I mean? So it may be one of those situations where it's best for both, quite honestly.
Yeah.
It may be one of those. But hey, look, I love spinning this whole thing forward to now, because J.J. McCarthy is going to foster a whole lot of emotion in people when he is drafted inside the top 10 the same way Daniel Jones did. The same way. And I'm here for all of it. I can't wait till he's picked.
We know, Lou.
And I hope he's picked by them.
We know. Lou is ready.
All right, we'll leave it there. A reminder that Daniel Jones' 2024 salary is fully guaranteed.